What's going on? What's
What's
happening?
good, man? What's good, man? We in this bitch again,
We in
dog.
here. Welcome to another
Yeah.
episode of the Trash Talk Podcast. This is what we do, baby. I was going to say the Trash Talk Show, but then I was like, is it the Countdown Show? I messed it up. Let's start again. What's going on?
What it is, man.
Welcome to
Hey,
another
welcome to
episode.
another
You got it? Go
episode of
ahead.
Trash Talk Show, live with your host, Shyne, and myself, Bobby. We in the building. Today we talking about something good today, man. Hey, it's good to me because I didn't understand what the hell was going on in this movie right here. So we got to talk about it today, Shyne.
Look, I'm already breathing heavy. Couple things. So I feel like this was a really good movie.
Huh?
Give me a minute. I felt like this was a really good movie, but it wasn't a really good movie. But I felt like it should have been a really good movie.
It should have been a really good movie. Hey, when I first saw the promos for the movie, I thought it was going to be like an Inception movie where it's going to gravitate or grab me and hold me into the movie and make me think about what just went on an hour ago that corresponds with what's happening at that point in time. And my memory bank won't be able to hold on to the information enough where I have to go watch it again to see if I missed something. Nah, this movie wasn't like that at all.
Actually, I'm gonna have to tell you you're wrong on that.
Yeah.
It was this movie.
Uh,
It hit everything in your brain, right? And then
Yeah.
an hour later, you were still like, "Yo, what did
What's
I
it?
just watch?
I don't know what I just watched.
What happened?" So
I
look,
don't
we've got the Screen Rant pitch meeting that we're gonna watch, and then they explain a lot in this movie, a lot of things that you went, "Oh, okay, well I didn't even think about that."
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And during the little screen pitch meeting, we're gonna pause a little bit and give you a little take on what we
hot
think about
takes.
what just went on in this. I don't know. I don't know.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's just get into
Let's
it.
get it. Let's 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 get it. You gotta let it rain and then clear it
Clear it
out.
out.
So look, let's get right into it.
So
We
all
gotta-
those who just joined in, we just right now, we screen grabbing a what you call it, Sean?
It's a Screen Rant pitch meeting is what we're doing. We're gonna take a look at it. They explain a lot. Really get you thinking. You ready?
And this is about the movie Tenet. So if you just joined in on us, man, this is about the movie Tenet. We didn't understand the movie ourselves per se, and it left us with a lot of questions. So maybe this little sketch right here will let you know exactly what went on in the movie.
So, you have a movie for me?
Yes, sir, I do. It's called Tenet.
Okay.
So we're gonna follow this guy, right? The protagonist.
And what's his name?
I just told you.
Oh.
And he's gonna be part of the.
Now I'm gonna stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. Listen. Tell me why I watched this movie 1 3/4 times
Yeah.
and didn't know that this dude had a name. Didn't have a name.
Dude didn't have a name at all. No one said his name or anything. I didn't even think twice to figure out if he had a name until I watched this.
So look, and
Which is
what
crazy.
what and it's absolute crazy. It was so crazy that we had to go down the rabbit hole and look and actually see if they gave this guy a name. And guess what? They didn't. John
Dude.
David Washington, protagonist. So wait, does that just mean
Yo.
that his name is protagonist?
I don't know, man. But look, if you look at all the other characters in the same thing, they were named with like driver, passenger, well dressed,
Well
man,
dressed man.
uniformed official, SWAT, and target.
So wait, the only people that
This
had a
dude was
name was
SWAT.
Neil?
and target. Look, Josh Stewart was male voice.
Male voice. Nobody in this had a name except for Neil.
You got Clements or whatever her name is. Clements.
I thought it was
Clements?
Margaret.
No, it's Clements. Her name was Barbara. She didn't even have a last name. They didn't have no last name.
There's too much to do. We got to go.
Hey, we got too much in this movie. We got to get it all in. We can't give you no names. Fuck that.
So here.
this operation at an opera house, right? And there's some weird stuff going on. Like he's saved by what seems to be a backwards bullet.
Oh, interesting.
Then he
Missed
gets
that.
tortured by some bad guys and takes a little pill to kill himself.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
pause this right here, son. So this is at the start of the movie, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna let this thing go a little bit farther, but and trying to pause it later on. This was at the beginning of the movie. I'm watching this, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm not paying much attention because I got a little kid now. He's over there doing something crazy, like eating the floor or something. And I didn't realize that the man died, right? I thought that it was like a game or something. And he
What?
won.
A
And
game.
then I thought he was like, they were like setting something up. He was going in, he did something, they caught him, he took the pill, he passed. And then all of a sudden I see him. I didn't know he actually like died. Which really
I don't
got
think
me.
he died. I think maybe what was in the pill wasn't.
Oh.
It was just a little shaky shake, not a little killy kill.
Well, this
Or something.
It confused me from then on, and I was lost for the rest of the movie.
Man,
Go
I
ahead.
didn't. Did you when you first watched? Okay, you wasn't paying attention. But what I'm saying is this: how were we supposed to know that bullet went backwards at the beginning
I don't
of the
know,
movie?
man. I don't know.
How are we supposed to know that?
I couldn't tell you.
Because I didn't until I watched this. I didn't know that bullet went backwards and ran through the guy. No idea.
I
Very
had no
short
idea.
movie, but still very enjoyable.
No, we're still gonna keep going.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, so it turns out being willing to take that pill was a test, and he's being recruited into this organization called Tenet.
That's the name of the movie.
It is, and so he's gonna talk to this guy for a little bit.
Sure.
And then he's gonna go talk to the scientist lady for a little bit.
And what's she gonna tell him?
Well, she's gonna tell him about this thing called
Nothing.
inversion, right?
Okay.
And when things are inverted, they move backwards through time instead of forwards, because they have reverse entropy.
Oh, scientific sounding things that I don't fully grasp are tight.
So, like, the protagonist can catch an inverted bullet that's lodged into something using his gun, right? Stuff like that.
Oh, wow, yeah, sounds cool. Just how? No, yeah, okay.
And he can also, like, catch an inverted bullet with his hand off a table, but as the scientist explains, he has to have dropped it. Like, if you watch the tape, he's always the cause of it moving, whether forwards or backwards, you know?
Right, yeah, okay, yeah.
You get it?
That was
No.
me the entire movie.
No, I didn't
That
get
was-
none of it.
No. You see? Did you see his face? Like
Yeah.
no. So my wife is laughing at me right now. She is laughing while I'm watching this because I'm like this.
I ain't trying,
And she's like, "You are really trying to understand this." I'm like, "Hey, I don't want to miss nothing."
Sean, try to watch the movie with a kid and trying to understand it. It's just like
It don't happen.
there's like, what are you doing? What happened? Yeah. Yeah.
And so the whole time, and she's explaining it to him, and I'm like, "Okay, so all right, so he would have had to have dropped."
So yeah, so in the same instance, when he was shooting the gun and the bullet was coming backwards, he didn't necessarily shoot it first and the bullet come back.
You would have had to
He
have already
the-
shot it.
He already went through the whole process of having that whatever that he was having beforehand, so he knew he was going to have that talk before he had to talk.
No, what I'm telling you is this is how the whole movie breaks down. That one part ruins it. Because
Yeah.
listen, they were like, okay, so it's inverted. I get the inverted of people, but then they were like, it's an inverted object that was sent back in time, so it's actually moving backwards in time. So I'm like, okay. Okay.
So this already happened.
So like it already you know what? I don't even want to try.
Yeah, no,
Keep going.
I'm just kind of wrapping my head
Confusing
around
yourself.
it, but okay. Well, we're gonna have that scientist lady literally say, "Don't try to understand it, just feel it." So you can go that route if you want.
Okay, I mean, I would like to understand, though, so I could kind of follow what's going on, but... Yeah, no, I'll get there.
Anyway, so she reveals that these inverted objects keep getting sent back from the future, right?
Okay.
And she thinks that maybe these are like remnants of a future war and that the world might end, but like in the past.
Okay. And so why did you continue that sentence in a completely different place?
Oh, well, sometimes we're gonna do that thing where a single conversation kind of spans over different locations just to keep things dynamic on screen, you know?
Right, okay, I mean, that does look good, but that means that the characters talk and then kind of pause their conversation, change locations, and then keep talking.
Yeah, it just keeps exposition scenes a little more fun to watch, you know? So then,
What are you doing?
Yo,
I'm calling
I
an
didn't
Uber
even know
back
this
to the
was
office so I
happening,
can
man.
finish
It
that
was-
thought.
Things
All
were
right.
just changing.
Here's the thing. So this is so with the Screen Rant, some of the things that they point out are things that happen in like a lot of movies that you just never notice.
Mhm.
And so it kind of in Inception it kind of happened too. Whenever they were doing the exposition where he was explaining to the girl about how it works.
Yeah, and it was jumping to.
And they're like here, and then they're like in a dream world. And then she's like, wait, how do we get here? And it's like the same conversation. So it's like, did you stick her in the neck with a syringe? How did you get from one sentence to the other? It does it a lot.
Different though. That was a little different. They set it up as like a training process.
I know.
So in your mind, you could be like, oh, she's training. They're going to different areas. That was a little different than this bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Right? All right, he'll be here in 7 minutes.
Wow, 7 minutes. Okay.
So then the protagonist has to go talk to this other guy, Neil.
Oh, he's gonna go talk to somebody else now. Okay.
Yeah, and after that, he's got to go talk to this other guy.
Okay, a lot of going from person to person and talking so far.
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
here's the
people.
thing. This time it turns out it wasn't actually a guy he was supposed to go see. Turns out it was this lady.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, that is a pretty good twist, I guess.
Right.
Okay, so he's finally with the lady he needs to be
Right.
talking to.
He is, yeah, and she's an arms dealer.
Amazing. Okay, so what does he find out from her?
Oh, you're gonna like this. He finds out he's gonna have to go talk to another guy.
Okay.
And this guy, he tells him all about having to go talk to another guy.
Oh my God.
But to get to that guy, he's gonna have to talk to this lady first.
What is going on?
Oh, don't worry. Now this lady's one of the main characters, so we're on track now.
Did you notice that when you watched it the first time, how many
Man,
different
it was-
people he had to go and talk
Dude, he
to?
was talking to a lot of dudes, man. I ain't even know what the hell was going on. All I know is
I
he was
just-
talking to a lot of dudes, and then he was breaking to this house. He was talking to this lady. The lady told him to talk to another dude. He went and talked to that dude.
It was basically
Then all
no
of a sudden-
action.
No.
Except for he
No.
was doing pull-ups on like this submarine thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he came out and like no one looked in there this entire trip.
I couldn't tell you.
We'll discuss that.
It's kinda
Okay,
crazy.
thank God. So who
This
is
whole
this
thing's
lady?
crazy.
Well, her name is Kat, and she's married to this Russian
Kat.
oligarch
Is it
named
Margaret?
Sador, and she frickin' hates this guy.
Oh, how come?
He's actually controlling her because she sold him a counterfeit painting, so now he's like, well, you can't see our son.
Very rude.
Yeah, extremely.
Okay, so now I know a little bit about this cat lady. Tell me more about this protagonist guy. What's his backstory? Tell me about him.
No.
Well, what's his character arc? Pass. Okay, what's his emotional
No.
stake in the story?
Well, he doesn't want the world to end.
Right, understandable, but what like emotionally?
Well, he lives in the world, so, he doesn't want it to end.
Okay.
He also seems really invested in this cat lady, like he really wants to protect her, seems to have
Yeah,
some kind of
he
bond
did.
with her.
He
Oh,
was
okay.
really
Well, tell me more
invested in
about
her.
that.
No. Look, it's just that I really want the movie concept and the action scenes to have a ton of breathing room, so we're not really going to spend time on stuff like characters and stuff.
Okay, I mean, it's going to be a little tough for me to care about the story if you don't give me anything in that department, though.
But it's
So listen, now, okay, I'm gonna give a name to this. I'm gonna call it the Killmonger issue.
Yeah.
Is like they did so well developing the character Killmonger that that's why we're all mad when they
Yeah.
killed him off.
Yeah.
And then that's why I had a problem like getting into this movie kind of sorta because it was like, hey, we got a dude with a good beard. All right, cool. What else? That's it. Start the movie. Nothing. You just jump right in it.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
just-
let's go.
hey, the action really was like at the beginning and at the end. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it. Everything else in between was talking.
Nothing but talking.
going to look
No.
very cool.
Oh, it's going to be very cool. Okay, I didn't realize. Okay, never mind character then.
Okay, so now for Kat to bring the protagonist to her evil husband, he's got to destroy this painting.
Okay, and so what's the plan?
Well, this thing's in this super protected vault, right? So the plan is, hold on, let me set the mood here. They kind of have to scope out this place if you
What?
That was exactly the movie.
This big plan on
Yeah.
launching this big plane into a building. That's going to divert attention.
Was that something about a
But
plane?
then when they get there, there's like this weird vault thing, and this guy comes out of it, and he's like in reverse.
Sorry, can you lower that? Can you lower that, please?
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
That was very loud music.
Yeah, it's very good music though.
Right, okay, but I
very
couldn't
good,
hear
Tom.
what you
It's
were
very
saying.
good
It's not
music.
going to
It
be
was-
like
it
that
was
in the
great.
movie, is it?
It is, yeah, because it's very good music, it's going to build up the tension.
I can't hear the talking.
But it's good music though. So then the protagonist is going to have this fight scene where he's like fighting this guy who's moving in reverse. It's going to be nuts.
Oh, yeah, no, that that does sound cool.
And then we're gonna finally meet this Russian oligarch and kind of figure out what his evil plan is.
Okay, and so what is his plan?
Well, so in the future, this scientist developed this algorithm that could kind of invert the world, right? Because they're all mad in the future about global warming, like we destroyed the planet.
Okay.
And she split up this algorithm into 9 pieces and hid them in the past, because they would pretty much end the past, and so maybe the future too.
And so the bad guy is putting this algorithm together?
Exactly, and he's actually dying, so he's kind of like, well, might as well take out the whole world with me as I go out.
So he has kind of the same motivation as a kid flipping a Monopoly board because he's losing.
Pretty much, yeah. So we're gonna have this amazing car chase scene where some of the cars are moving backwards in time. It's gonna be nuts.
Wow, 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 wow.
And then that cat lady's gonna get inverse shot by her husband, and so the protagonist, he's gonna risk the whole world to save her.
A little risky, but okay.
So they're gonna invert themselves and start moving backwards through time.
And so how does that work?
Oh, there's some very cool stuff going on. For example, like oxygen flow goes the other way in this direction, so they need their own oxygen. Basically everything's backwards, like explosions make things cold.
And so does that mean that like light receptors in people's eyes start emitting light?
What?
Do people have flashlight eyes?
No, I mean, please don't
What?
think about this too much.
How do inverted people poop? Does it go up?
Okay, so anyway, they're gonna travel back in time, and we're gonna find out that the protagonist was actually fighting himself, but in reverse.
Oh, very mind-bendy.
Yeah, and so they need to stop the bad guy from ending the whole world, so they team up with these time-traveling army guys that just kind of come out of nowhere.
Oh.
And they go on this freaking mission where one team is moving forwards through time shooting at people, and then another team waits a while and
I
then
gave
moves
up
backwards
about
through
this part
time
of the
through the
movie.
same fight.
And so like who are they shooting at exactly?
Ah.
They never
Oh,
build
no.
that
We're
up.
not really
at all.
gonna see who they're shooting at, really. They're just kind of shooting off screen, but I guess it's like
La La music.
It was crazy though, because that was the
So
movie.
protagonist and army guy are gonna go into this bunker, but then Neil sees that they're in trouble, so he has to go help.
I'm not sure what's going on.
And there's like a dead body when they get there, but then the thing suddenly pops up and takes a bullet to save the protagonist. It's gonna be crazy.
Please turn that down.
Okay, let me turn that off. So anyway, it turns out that Neil actually sacrifices himself to save the protagonist.
Okay, so now I think that was entertaining, but also, what just happened?
Well, Neil's gonna explain that Tenet is actually founded by the protagonist and that he has a future in the past.
Okay.
So Neil waited with one of the teams until after the battle and then moved through it like in an inverted way backwards in time, but then he saw that the protagonist was in trouble, so he re-inverted himself and then saved him with a Humvee.
Right.
Nice.
But then
Going
after
forward.
that, he has a little talk with the protagonist, and then he has to go re-invert himself to go take that bullet to
nice
save the
going
protagonist's life.
Right. Okay.
I didn't even know this happened.
okay.
And so the protagonist is going to keep moving forward through time, but then because inversion is the thing, he's actually the one who founded Tenet at a certain point in time. We're not sure when, and he's the one who recruited Neil.
Sure, yeah, okay.
You understand? Do you get it?
It's a little complicated. I feel like maybe it'll be hard for the general audience to kind of grasp what's going on.
Actually, it's going to be barely an inconvenience. Super easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because see, it's going to be
Super
so
easy.
confusing and hard to hear that people are going to want to go watch it a couple times.
Is that going to work?
It might.
It seems a little risky.
Well, I mean, you got to take a risk sometimes, right? It's not like the future of cinema depends on how this one movie performs.
I guess not.
So, listen. Even that's the part that I gave up on, right?
Yeah.
Was when the battle was happening, and he told him the army captain, whoever just showed up out of nowhere, and he said, "Hey, so what you're gonna do is Team A is gonna come in, and you got to take whatever is in the hole out of the hole, but Team B, you guys have got a mission too, but your mission is to fail at stopping the thing from blowing up, so that when they dig it up later." They know the explosion happened,
Yeah.
but it ain't nothing in there. And I'm like, so you telling me I need to fail is what you're telling me I need to do, right?
So you saying I'm gonna go in and get shot? That's what you trying to tell me? I'm gonna get blown up. I'm gonna get shot.
And then they had Neil. So at that point of the movie, right, there's like 3 Neils running around.
Yeah.
There's 3 Neils like existing at the same time. There's like 3, maybe 4, because you still got the kid.
You got baby Neil. You
Yeah,
got inverted
'cause
Neil.
he
You
was-
got re-inverted Neil, and you got future Neil. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah. And then the whole time in the movie he's telling him like, kind of sort of the Mandalorian, like this is the way. Like whatever happened already happened. So everything already happened. But when the protagonist, we just going
That's his. I don't know his name, so
I guess we'll go with that. When the protagonist actually figures out, like, oh snap, you gonna die, because where was it? It was the backpack, right?
Yeah.
That we got to see, and it was that little thing in his backpack, and they showed that whenever the dude was on the floor, and then they showed it whenever he was leaving, to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go. I guess the war is over. They give up all the stuff, and he like, all right, well, I'm gonna go war some more. I'll be right back. And the protagonist knew he was gonna die, but didn't tell him. But then because he was like, well, if I tell him, like, he ain't gonna do it. But Neil already said what happens. So you already seen him dead. So why would it matter if you tell him or not?
Man, the moral of the story is, and you just dropped a bomb on this movie itself, because you just told the real reason why he was intrigued by what's her name, the cat lady. Was it a cat lady?
Cat, yeah.
Cat is that the son of Cat is perceivably Neil, correct?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So the whole moral of the story in my eyes is that he has to save the lady in order to save the kid, in order to save himself.
But whatever happened already happened. So once he met older Neil, it don't matter what he did. Now Neil gonna be all right.
No, but the thing is though, is that the guy who's trying to blow up the world is in the present, not the future, but he can go back in the past to kill everybody. So in order for him to stop him from doing so, Neil has to help him. And in order for Neil to help him in the future to go to the past, he has to save the boy now.
So what happens in the future? So they do all this and the future's still going, right? And then like, so if the bomb goes off in the past that inverts the world or whatever is supposed to happen, and then the future, so you're just hanging out and then you just don't exist. That's it.
I guess. And no one exists, I guess.
Just fade to black.
I guess.
Right? So then, like,
my question to you is, what is Tenet?
It's an organization founded by the protagonist in the future.
But what is it?
So that they can help control the timeline.
But the only person that knew about the timeline was the guy, right?
No, the person who made inversion hid it in the past. So in the future, there's all kinds of inverted people running around here. Just none of them want to destroy the world, I believe. I don't know.
I'm just to try to understand this movie is to make your brain hurt even more.
But listen, and so they're on the same timeline as like River Song and Doctor Who, where the Doctor met River, him and Neil, protagonists. Keep that. And Neil, where the Doctor met River. This was the first time that he met her, but she had known him almost her entire lifespan of knowing him. And then as we go further down the show, the Doctor knows her more and falls in love with her. And the more we get into the season, the less she knows him. So she keeps a diary because their timelines are reversed. So by the time we get to the end where the Doctor is just like, yo, that's my chick. That's my lady. She don't know him at all. All she has is this diary like, hey, this dude's pretty cool. So that's kind of how I look at Neil and the protagonist. Neil met him pretty much at the end of his life. And we're going to go backwards and forward. And so the more the tenant figures out, hey, this is what I need to do, the less he knows Neil, but he needs to recruit. This shit didn't make no sense. I didn't mean to cuss.
So my thing is though, and I mean to cuss though. My thing is this movie a movie that's going to be made again?
No,
like a number two,
No. What they gonna do in a number two?
to better understand what number one was about.
What they gonna do? Listen, they didn't make a second Inception because they was like, look, man, it would be too complicated to try and do it again.
Well, I mean, I want them to make a second Inception, and I want them to make it as more confusing than the first one.
They did, a la Tenet. That's what you're gonna get, and we don't want that. Nobody. Look, I'm so mad. I'm so mad that this. Man, I'm heated because I really want to understand what's happening here, but I don't. And it really, really makes me very like mad sad about it.
I go into this movie with the anticipation of it being an Inception. And I say to myself, I need to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because if I miss a certain detail, it may come back to bite me in the ass later on in this movie, and I may need to know what that detail was so that I can better understand what this movie is about. But as watching the clip we just watched, which was the pitching the movie itself, I understand that the director didn't set no characters up, didn't set what Tenet was about, didn't set anything that made an individual like myself more aware of what was going on. All he did was, here's the storyline, this what needs to happen, this is what's going to happen.
I think it was this. This is what happened. Let me tell you what happened. This is what happened. He spent so much daggone time writing this movie because he started and he was like, all right, so you got inversion, right? And then whoever was sitting there like, yeah, go ahead. And he was like, look. He was like, so you
go ahead.
You can see stuff back inverted through time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what you would need is this. And they like, okay. And he spent probably 6 months writing that. And he finally got it figured out. And the other people like, I don't quite get it, but if you get it, go ahead. And then he took it to the place and he was like, here's the movie. And they were like, okay, you thought of the concept and all of this. And they was like, so what's the guy's name? And he was like, oh, shit. See, here's the thing. He doesn't have a name. And they like, oh, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. Well, what's his motivation? See, here's the thing. You don't need to know. You know, so in the future, we can invert and go further back and learn about him. Tenet 2, where you start at the end of his life and the whole movie's in reverse. Probably not. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot.
Look, this is a problem though.
$270 million.
270. They could have gave me $1 million. And I could have told them this movie was some bullshit. They would have had to waste the rest of the 200.
All you had to do was call me. Hey, man, here's $30. Hear me out for 20 minutes. And I'd have been listening. I'd have been like, right. Yeah, don't make that.
This movie was some bullshit.
Don't make that. Don't make that.
No,
make.
It ain't gonna make no money.
Make it, but like, change everything in it. Change everything. The entire thing.
It feels like he was trying to build a new genre of movie or put his movie in a space where it couldn't be compared to other movies because it didn't have the dynamics that most movies have. It didn't have a main character that you had feelings about. It didn't have a storyline that followed a path. It didn't have characters in there that gravitated yourself to them. All it had was a story, a beginning to the story, a middle to the story, and an end to the story. That was it. That's all it had.
I can tell you what this movie was. I can tell you exactly what this movie was. Are you ready?
Yes.
This movie was a video game, but we couldn't play none of the side quests so we could figure out what's going on.
You were playing Final Fantasy. And
You were playing Final Fantasy and you just went straight to the end boss. You're like, wait, okay, but Ares is, but wait, no, that's what it was. This was a video game from like, all right, we start the game and you don't get to do no side quest. You can't explore or nothing. Cause like I feel like I'd have spent maybe an hour in the gun room trying to figure out how inversion worked.
Why is this bullet coming back?
Why is this? Well, you would have had to have dropped it first. Okay, what does that mean? And then I'd be trying to pick up other things, but I'd be like, okay, well, those things aren't inverted, so those don't count. And then, like, does he have to think about dropping it, or does he have to feel like dropping it? Because that's his future. So he has to,
or has he already dropped it, but he didn't think about dropping something else? That's why he couldn't drop it then.
I'd had to spend some time in the video game room to figure that out. And then once I got the controllers together, then I could have went forward. That's what this was. It was a video game, but we couldn't play any side quests. So look.
That's a good look right there. That's a good look.
So listen. What's your trash cans? 0 being great. Loved it.
I'll watch this movie again.
5 being super trash.
Well, I gave you an insight to my mindset earlier when I said they could have gave me $1 million and I could have told them it's some bullshit. So if on my meter of 0 to 5 trash cans on because this is trash talk and that's what we do trash cans. I got to give 5 trash cans.
5 trash cans
again.
Okay.
Because I don't think I'm gonna learn anything.
Okay, I need to call
next time I watch it.
I need to call you out.
Call me out.
I need to call you out. Okay.
Call me out.
So this movie, you said, I'm gonna give it 5 trash cans. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
So
That's what I said.
you telling me that this movie was worse than Wonder Woman 84?
Man, it was right up there, man. Because the plot, I didn't understand what the hell was going on in this movie.
Ain't nothing worse than Wonder Woman 84.
Look, I gave Wonder Woman 5 trash cans too. But look, at least in Wonder Woman, I could follow the storyline, even though it was stupid.
Yeah.
Even though Wonder Woman was stupid, I followed the timeline.
I'm giving it 4 trash cans myself.
So you saying so let me hear this out. So live on Trash Talk with Bobby and Shyne, you giving Tenet 4 trash cans.
Yes.
That means that if you were sitting in the house by yourself, dead tired, and this movie came on, you wouldn't turn it because you didn't feel like it.
I let it ride.
You still watch it. You let it ride.
So look, first things first, it's a good beard. So
my man understand what the hell was going on out of his mouth.
But it was a good beard. So my man, he showed up to work every day and he worked hard on this movie. I felt like he did a great job on a movie he didn't even understand. So I'm not mad at him.
Yo, my question to you is that before we end this show tonight, I gotta ask one last question. How do you think they pitched this movie to him?
I feel like this is. I got it. You ready?
Hey, I got something too, but go ahead.
Bring. Hello. You know that's probably how he talk. Yeah.
Because it's Denzel's son right there.
Yeah. Hello. and you know they gotta call him by both. John David, how you doing? I'm doing all right. You know, and they said, all right, we got a movie for you. And he's like, go. And then they said, okay, so there's this thing called inversion. And there's this other thing. And he was like, And it's like, look, check this out. It's going to be cool. You just have to see it to do it. So let me send you over the script, read the first couple pages, and then come on the set. And then we'll just show you a little bit of how it works. And he was like, okay. And then we're going to pay you $90 million. Cool. And so that's probably what happened was they never actually explained the movie to him from start to finish. They just did it in parts. After they filmed the first third, he's like, yo, I'm confused. No. That part's good. So on this part, no, don't even worry. So he was already invested and committed before he was like, hey, I'm doing some boo. What's happening here? So that's what it was. What they do? What they do?
I think it went like this though. I think like when he's like, "Boo-dee-dee-dee-dee," and then John David, that's his name, was like, "Hello," because you know that Denzel's son. He was like, he like, "Yeah, this is John David." He say, what's the producer's name?"
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan was like, "Hey man, I got a movie for you." He said, "Go ahead. Look, the movie is a dude playing another dude, portraying another dude about a dude who's trying to kill another dude." And John Day was like, "Man, I'm not following." And then Chris was like, "We'll pay you $90 million." John Day was like, "All right, cool." That's what I think happened. What I think happened.
And then after that, and then when they sent it to him, they were like, "Listen, you get to have a gun. Bet. Say less, fam." That's what he said. He said, "Say less, fam." So look, if it came on again, because I really want to understand it, I really do, but I give up. I gave up on it, and I probably wouldn't watch it again.
I feel like if it was not COVID season right now, if COVID was not to happen, we get a better understanding from Christopher Nolan about what this movie was about, because then they'll have all these premiere movies and premiere at the sites where the producers on site, just to tell people about the movie itself, and maybe he'll enlighten us about his vision of where this movie was going to go.
No, I feel like that was the best thing that could have happened. Imagine paying $15 going to the movie and then get in your car and go, "Hey, I ain't never gone to the movie theater and demanded my money back, but I'd have thought about it. I would have thought about it. Nah, you gonna have to give me my money back. We're done here. Nah, because y'all didn't tell me that it was gonna be this. Nope."
So, man, hey, look, hey, so I give it 5 trash cans. Shyne gives it 4 trash cans. Look, if you want to go out and you want to watch this movie, if you want to purchase this movie, I say do it at your own risk. Because this movie is trash, garbage. Seriously.
If you like the movie, let me know. If you like the movie, let me know. What else you got, Bob?
On it too. Let us know. Comment on it. Hey, but look, next week on live Trash Talk with Bobby and Shyne, we're gonna do something. I wouldn't say a little different, something that we've done in the past, but we're gonna break it out in a different way. So we're gonna look at some actors and actresses who were starred in some movies that really sucked, and then they turned the tides in a movie that was wonderful or great. And we're going to debate on who was the best actor. Well, you can say best and worst actor who went from worst to best ever. So we're going to look at all actors and actresses who played in a bad movie at first, and then all of a sudden they turned the tides. So, for example, my boy, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds as the Green Lantern.
As the Green Lantern. And then all of a sudden he turned the tides when he went to, what movie is it?
Deadpool.
Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool 3 is coming out soon.
And then all his other movies. What, Hitman Bodyguard?
Yeah,
600 grand? We're going to talk about it. And look,
about
invert it. So let me go invert myself and then come back and then tell you about the show in the future. Well, no, because I learned about the show, but then I inverted myself. So I came back and then I re-inverted myself to tell you guys that John David Washington going to need one of these too.
In the future.
We're going to need to see what he's going to do in the future.
Hey,
because you got some explaining to do, boo-boo.
Did some great movies before this movie, and now it puts him in the category of worst movie because it's that what have you done for me lately?
After Earth bad.
Yes. But Will Smith is Will Smith though, so he can do a couple bad movies and still come out on top. That's who he is because he's been on top.
Now look, it's been good.
David, you ain't been on top.
You ain't been on top.
You been in the middle.
You been good. What else you got?
Hey man, that's it, man. But look, catch us live on Trash Talk with Bobby and Shyne every Sunday night at 8:00, and then you can catch the Trash Talk Countdown show at 9:00. That'll be starting pretty soon. So hey,
tune in. Look, it's been good.
It's always good, man.
It's been real.
It's real tonight, man.
But it ain't been real good.
Never that. Not with this movie, Tenet.
We gonna come back next time we can't stay so long.
I'll holler.
Peace.